Good morning. I got a follow-along hip mobility that we're going to do. So we're going to do 4 movements. We're going to alternate between the left and the right side. Ideally, we have a post like this that we can kind of wrap ourselves around and hug to kind of hold us in place, to kind of create a block so that we can really focus on the hip itself. If we don't have any sort of pillar or post that you can, wrap around and hug, then a wall where you can create some resistance, you can create some stability right here. I want you to push against that wall and create a really solid position here. There's a tendency that if we just do this kind of lazily here with our arm against the wall, that we're going to kind of lean away from the leg that we're working on and give ourselves like a false sense about what our mobility actually is. And then we're going to finish up with a squat hold for 2 minutes. If you can't do the squat hold, or your body just isn't quite ready for it, then we can use a low stool, something that's a little bit lower than you would normally, like a little bit lower than a toilet seat basically, just so that we can work on the ankles, the knees, the hips, still putting our body into position, but not quite putting full stress on those joints because we're going to be on a supported surface. So real quickly, let me just demonstrate everything, and then we're just going to hammer through it. So I'll just demonstrate on one side. So the first one that we're going to do, and with this, if we're using a post right here, I want to kind of get my hip up tight against that post so that I can really hold myself in place in a nice straight position here. So what we'll do first off, to start off, we'll do 10 high knees. And when we're standing here, I really want you to be really strong on the standing leg. Make sure you engage that glute. So we'll do 10 repetitions, and then we'll go right into, we'll do these 5 high knee leg extensions, knee extensions. So we'll do it on the left and the right, then we'll come back, we'll do the same thing, but we're going to sweep our leg out to the side, and we'll do 10 repetitions right into 5 of the knee extensions. Then we're going to do some Chuck Norris's. So we're going to hold a high knee position, and then we're going to extend and go into abduction here where the leg is away from the body, and also making sure that we're rotating the toes down in so we can get internal rotation of the hip. We're gonna do 5 of those on each side, and then we're gonna do 3 hip cars. So we'll go from a high knee position. We're gonna sweep out. We're gonna push down into internal rotation, and then sweep around to the back, making sure that we keep that hamstring really tight. Then we'll push that leg back and reverse and come back to the top. And again, we'll do everything. We'll do alternating left, right as we go through. So. Get yourself a wall, again, making sure that if you're going to be away from the wall, boom, nice strong position right here, working with the outside leg. Make sure we have that nice tall position, and if you got that post you can hang on to, grab that post you can hang on to. All right, nice and strong and tall on that inside leg, that standing leg, so that that glute is engaged, and we're going to do 10 high knees. 1, 2, 3, 4. As I get to this top end right here, 5, I really feel that opposite side glute turn on. 6, 7, 8, 9, and on the 10th one, 10, now we're going to hold this position and we're going to extend out 1. So we want to get all the way out to full leg extension so we can squeeze that quad. That's 2, 3, nice and high, 4, and 1 more, and 5. Good, okay. Let's go to the other side. So again, tuck that hip up underneath, and we're gonna do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, standing really strong and tall on the inside leg. 6, get that glute to engage. 7, at the top here, get that hip flexor to engage. 8, 2 more. 9, and on number 10, we're gonna lift and hold. So really strong standing on that left leg, really strong here to the hip flexor. We're gonna extend, squeeze the quad. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1 more, and 5. Good, okay. Now the height that you lift your leg is completely up to you, right? Just get it up as high as you possibly can, maintaining good position. All right, so now we're gonna do the same thing. We're just going to kind of open this up here, and the high knee is gonna be, the knee and the toe will be pointed out to the side. 1, 2, 3, 4, hip flexor, nice and strong. 5, 6, opposite side glute turns on. 7, 8, 9, and we'll hold on number 10. Ready, and kick. 1. You might feel a little bit of cramping. 2, that's all right. 3, you could drop your leg just a little bit if you need to. 4, and 1 more. And 5, excellent. Whew. All right, other side. I'm gonna open up, so the foot, that knee, that hip, open that up. Ready, 10 of them. 1, 2, so we get to the top, hip flexor engages up here. We get to the top, that glute really turns on the opposite leg. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, drive it up, big contraction. 8, 2 more. 9, 1 more, and lift and hold. So again, big contraction to the hip flexor and that glute nice and strong. Ready, 5 kicks. 1, and extend. 2, and extend. 3, and extend. 4, 1 more, and 5, good job. Okay, so with these Chuck Norrises, we're gonna hold that high knee position as high as we can, and in keeping that leg as high as possible, we're gonna extend out into abduction, and then we're gonna make sure, we're gonna think about turning those toes down so we get that internal hip rotation. All right, nice and tall here, and kick out to the side, keep those toes pointed straight. 1, 2, as I get to that end range right there, as we get to this position here and turn those toes in, you get a big old tightness and contraction through this outer glute. That's 3. Turn it in. 4. Really get as much as you can. Keep that leg as high as possible. And then rotate that toe down and in. That's 5. Good. Other side. High knee. Kick out to the side. Turn those toes down and in. 1. You're going to notice, like everything else, one side's going to be better. 2. This is, for me, this side is not as, 3, not as good, meaning I don't have the same range of motion, I don't have the same mobility. 4, 1 more. And 5. Whew. Okay, so now we're gonna do those hip cars. If I can turn here to the side, show you a little better. Yeah, that'll work. Okay, so we're gonna start in this high knee position. I'm gonna rotate out to the side, and I wanna make sure that I keep a nice hamstring contraction all the way through. I'm gonna rotate down into internal rotation and sweep around to the back. Make sure you might get a contraction through the hamstring cramp, that's okay. Push back into hip extension, and we're gonna reverse, push up, up. You're gonna hit kind of a blocking point right there. Once you hit that blocking point, then we're gonna rotate that knee up and starting position. That's 1. Sweep it out, knee down, foot up, and rotate around. Squeeze that hamstring, push back into hip extension, rotate up. I hit that blocking point, it can't go any higher. Bring that knee up. 2, 1 more. Knee down, foot up. Squeeze that hamstring. Rotate around. Good. Big hamstring contraction. Push that hip back and hip extension. Lift out to the side. Hit that blocking point. Feels nice. Okay, and final one, here we go. Knee comes up, out to the side, knee down, foot up, squeeze that hamstring, pull it around, kick back into hip extension, push out to the side, into abduction. Once that knee can't go any further, rotate that knee up, push out to the side, rotate down, knee down, foot up, sweep it behind you, hamstring contraction, hip extension, sweep up, or lift it up, bring that knee up, 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 2, and one more, rotate out to the side, knee down, foot up, sweep as far back behind you as you can, hamstring contraction, push back into hip extension, and we're gonna lift, we're gonna abduct, lifting that knee as high as it'll go. Once it won't go any further, rotate that knee up, foot down. That felt nice. Okay, so as we practice our squats, 2 minutes. Again, if you can't just hold it, then we're gonna sit on a stool or even like that low mark right there. But we still wanna think about our feet being nice and active. I think you can see my feet. So I want my feet to be nice and active. Right up here. There we go. So feet grabbing at the ground. I want to pull my feet towards me as much as I can so my heels are getting close to underneath my butt here. Active arches, drive those knees out, and then sit forward. So ankle, knee, hip flexion, and along spine. All right. So we'll go 2 minutes, and we'll go ahead and drop down. Now, as we sit here, we can go between 2 basic positions. We can have a more relaxed position where we're not really worried about what our back is doing. So from the side, as I just drop down here, right? Like our spine can do all sorts of cool flexion and extension and move laterally and do all sorts of cool stuff. So we're not under load. So just sitting down here where I'm just worried about my ankles and my knees and my hips is working on that is totally fine. You know, every once in a while what we can do is you're gonna end up kind of rising up just a little bit and pulling yourself into a better position where the lower back is gonna have more of that natural curvature. And then just go ahead and then you could drop down a little bit and relax again into more of that really deep position. And as we kind of work back and forth in this minute, every 10 or 15 seconds, just kind of work between those 2 positions. 1 minute down, 1 minute to go. So as I kind of check in with my feet, I want to make sure that my toes are nice and active on the ground, creating that arch so that nothing is collapsing in. I want to make sure that that arch is active so that my ankles are in a good position, my knees are in a good position in line with my toes. I can kind of relax here a little bit, about another 40 seconds. And then I'm going to have to get my pelvis into the right position, right? Because if I'm in that really relaxed position here and I have that flexion, I'm in a little bit of posterior tilt. So to get to more of that neutral position, I can't quite do that in this position this deep. So I need to come up just a little bit so I can get a little bit more tilt out of my pelvis and I can come back to that neutral position. About another 10 seconds. Then you come down a little bit, back down into that relaxed position. 5 more seconds. 2, 1. And there you go, 2 minutes. Lovely way to start your day. Yeah, kind of incorporate this stuff as much as you can into your day, into your week, and you will be feeling better over time. Come on.